Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a romance thriller film called The Lover in the Attic: A True Story from 2018. Enjoy your viewing. The movie is set in 1913. Dolly is married to Fred. He is a very rich businessman, the owner of an apron factory. He has been unable to satisfy the beautiful woman for a long time. Dolly shows Fred an apron that she has sewn herself based on a pattern that was in a French magazine. Fred refuses to put it into production, saying that his customers do not live in Paris. Dolly suggests opening a representative office in France, but he simply ignores her. Dolly arrives at her husband's factory and tries to convince the workers to persuade Fred to put her apron into production. When Otto, a 17-year-old sewing machine repairman, enters the room, Dolly immediately takes notice of him. He is also an aspiring writer. Dolly looks through his graphic novel and reads how a girl eliminates her husband in cold blood. Otto takes the magazine away from the owner's wife, believing that a lady should not read such horror stories. When Dolly is preparing breakfast in the morning, a man appears and starts flirting with her. But her husband has to fly to New York to meet with clients, so the woman asks her husband to restrain his passion until he returns home. The beauty says that in this case, she will be in a passionate state all week. Fred grabs his wife by the throat in a rage and shouts that she shouldn't manipulate his feelings. The man leaves, and the girl can't get over the shock. Dolly is not satisfied with her marriage, and one day she comes up with a cunning plan. A girl breaks her sewing machine on purpose by sticking a knife in it. At lunch, she complains to her husband that the sewing machine is broken, and she was just about to sew a baby suit. When asked if she is pregnant, Dolly replies that she would like to be, and asks her husband to send a repairman to their house. The next day, he shows up at the guy's doorstep, not realizing that this day would change his life forever. The hostess greets the guy in a very seductive outfit and sits down next to him while he works. The repairman quickly realizes that the machine is broken on purpose, but says nothing. Soon, Otto fixes the breakdown, and then Dolly praises his skillful hands and asks him to massage her feet. A couple of minutes pass, and the beauty invites the guest to undress. Otto silently undresses and asks the hostess if she will do the same. The girl promises to undress next time. She tells the repairman to tell Fred that he needs a spare part for his sewing machine, which he can get from the factory. Before she says goodbye, Dolly whispers gently that she is ready to break the machine every day for this. Otto can't eat or sleep, looking forward to the next day. But he takes 2 showers. Dolly meets a guy in a very seductive outfit. The couple decides not to waste time and passionately engage in interesting activities. After this experience, the guy comes to visit Dolly every day when her husband is not at home. The two of them are consumed by unquenchable passion. The guy is tormented by his conscience, and he suggests that Dolly get a divorce so that they cannot hide their relationship from anyone. The girl doesn't want to live in poverty like her mother, and the young fixer obviously won't be able to provide for her. Or something bad must happen to Fred. Fate says that Otto should try his best to make her happy. At night, Fred comes home drunk. Drunk, he drags his wife out of bed and takes the girl by force, although the girl does not like it at all. A neighbor notices the frequent visits of an unknown young man to the businessman's house. She tells Dolly that he is her brother. At the same time, the beauty realizes that it is too dangerous to continue their relationship. When he comes to visit her again, the hostess takes him to the attic and declares that they can build their love nest there. Dolly knows that the boy has no close relatives because his father left the family and his mother died several years ago. Dolly wants her guest to quit his job as a fixer and focus on his writing. You can't leave the house, otherwise the neighbors will guess and tell Fred. He is also not allowed to make noise at night or go near the windows. Otto compares it to a golden cage, but then Dolly takes off her clothes completely and seduces the boy once again. When Fred and Dolly are having fun in bed at night, Otto is lying in the attic and can hear everything. He is very jealous of the girl. This goes on day after day, week after week. While the owner is at work during the day, the two in the house do what they want. Otto falls more and more in love with Dolly, even though he realizes that he is here as a slave. When Fred comes back from the factory, Otto goes up to the attic and writes, trying not to make any noise so as not to give himself away. One day, Dolly comes into the attic and wishes Otto a happy 21st birthday. This means that the boy has been living in the attic for 4 years, not once having gone outside. He has lost all contact with his friends and non-relatives. He seems to be satisfied with everything. Dolly shares some great news with him. A famous publishing house has finally published one of his graphic novels. Fred is going away for a few days, and Dolly decides to go to a dance club. The two of them have a blast. At one point, Otto, who hasn't seen other people in 4 years, has a panic attack. It seems to him that everyone around him is staring at him, and he asks his companion to take him home. Dolly persuades the man to take out life insurance, explaining that he could suddenly leave our world, and she will need to cope with this somehow. Several times Otto almost catches Fred's eye, but each time he manages to slip away right in front of his clumsy host. When Fred and his wife are having dinner at a restaurant, Dolly brazenly stares at a handsome man at the next table. This annoys Fred, and he tells his wife to stop looking at him. The girl gets angry and says that every time they leave the house, the same thing happens. Fred gets angry and yells that his wife will never fulfill her naive dream of going to Hollywood and becoming a famous actress. Dolly shouts that she would rather drink herself to death than live with such a man for the rest of her life. The two leave the restaurant and continue their fierce quarrel at home. Hearing the screams, Otto grabs the owner's pistol, comes down from the attic, and points it at Fred, who is strangling his wife. The guy claims that he has been Dolly's lover for 6 years, and all this time he has been living under the businessman's nose. Fred lashes out at the young man in a rage, and the two of them start a fight. Otto wins and eliminates the owner with a pistol. The boy makes it look like a robbery, snatching Fred's watch and Dolly's precious necklace. He hits the girl in the face, locks her in the closet, and tells her to scream until the police arrive. Otto himself flees the house. Dolly tells the cops that a burglar broke into the house, but the detective believes that the case is not that simple. Moreover, for some reason the criminal did not take Fred's wallet. Dolly continues her dirty game and starts an affair with the head of the insurance company, Roy, who helps her get a good amount of insurance for her husband's death. This makes Otto jealous of the beauty even more. The girl tells Roy that after her husband's death she bought a gun, although it is the same weapon that Otto used to shoot her husband. Dolly says that now Roy protects her and she is not afraid of anything. The girl gives the man the gun and asks him to throw it into the river. After that, she packs her things and heads to Hollywood to meet her dream. Otto travels with the beautiful woman, who continues to keep him at a distance. Under various pretexts, she refuses to marry him. Roy realizes that Dolly has left him. He is very angry and brings the detective the gun he never threw into the river. The cops immediately start looking for the girl. In Hollywood, Dolly is throwing a party in her new luxurious mansion, hoping to establish contacts with directors and famous actors. Otto has to serve as a waiter, and this stresses him out a lot. But what's even worse is that the beauty gets a new lover, lawyer Herman. Soon the detective calls Dolly and says he is in Los Angeles and insists on meeting her. Otto panics because he is sure they have been discovered. The girl reassures him that no one knows about his existence, so they are safe. When the detective comes to Dolly's house with the murder weapon, Herman explains that the police have no evidence against the girl, and the cops have to leave. Time passes, and Herman asks Dolly to marry him. As usual, Otto hears the whole conversation from the attic. He loses his temper and grabs a knife and goes downstairs. The boy yells at Dolly and Herman to stop kissing and tells her to tell the truth about them. When Dolly lies and says that Otto is only the upstairs neighbor, the boy slaps her on the cheek and tells her that he has been living in the girl's attic as a slave for almost 10 years. The young man explains to the lawyer that Dolly loves no one. She only uses men. Angry, Herman rips the engagement ring off his bride's finger and leaves the house. Otto admits that he has just called the detective and goes up to the attic before the cops arrive. The police soon arrest them both. The couple is tried at the same time. The case is heard by a jury, and Herman agrees to defend the girl despite the deception. As a result, Otto is found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, but is soon released due to the expiration of the statute of limitations, and all charges are dropped. The girl stays in Los Angeles and continues to change men one by one until she gets married in 1959, 2 years before her death. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klontsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.